Okay, okay. Let's try all this very briefly again. So, a little bit of context. I just spent about a little more than 2 hours streaming. About halfway through, I messed up the audio coming out of the computer and couldn't hear anything. Well, you, the viewer, wouldn't be able to hear anything. It was super frustrating, so I spiked the stream. And then I listened to what I've been working on and actually thought it was cool. So I want to at least do a super short stream that will be mostly just for replay in order to show where I'm at. And so I feel like I have something to show for tonight. Anyway, so let's get this C major plugin in the mix. And I will show you what I did. So, yes, so let's reveal this in Finder. That's, well, this is part of the recipe here. Okay. So, okay. And I'm going to introduce, one thing I'm going to do that I learned from the last stream is there were a lot of speaker alerts. So I'm just going to go ahead and, put a nice little limiter here on my 2-bus. And then the other thing I learned, so I've been doing a lot of, I really like, he is a beat maker, beat flipper, and now a drum pack maker, Fiddy Rack. He's very cool. Okay, so first. Okay, I'm making it. So his stuff is very cool. But part of the reason it's cool to me is it already kind of sounds lo-fi because it, that's kind of the style. I'm going to turn this, trying to figure out why this is not, maybe the limiter's really hitting it. No. I'm just looking at the meter. I'm going to really sweat the, whatever. I'll just let it. Which is like, oh yeah. So I was, while I was trying out these different parts of the effect, I was using a lot of his breaks. Oh, actually, that sounds. But however, since they're already kind of lo-fi, I feel like I was actually underselling some of the stuff that was possible, or just some of the sounds that you can get. Like, obviously, it's a lo-fi effect, so you kind of actually want to start with something that's got some material to mess up. So, this nice little piano. Oh, hell yeah. With the, let's see what tempo. Oh, okay. Let's go up to that. Okay, maybe not that. But I think this sounds really freaking cool. Now what's different? A few things. So I spent most of the last stream, making the effect a little bit cooler. And a little bit cooler meant going to this, back to this paper where, the Stanford paper where they modeled an SP12 and this implementation of a repitcher in Python based on that resampler. But I mean, actually, I'm missing a step. And the step is that when you resample, you want to filter before resampling. And you very likely also want to resample a filter after resampling, right? That reduces the amount of audible aliasing. This paper points out that, let's see, where is it? Because the SP12 involves aliasing effects, one must ensure that the digital implementation aliases properly. Some of the aliasing comes from the non-idealities in the anti-aliasing filters. And then they show, there's more detail here, but general what the magnitude responses are of the input filter and of the output filter. So I took a combination of observing these magnitude responses. This is mostly a vibes-based implementation. And the approach taken here where the input filter is a relatively, I suppose, clean digital filter, and then the output filter is actually a digital model or a virtual analog model of a Moog filter, to spice up our algorithm. So this is, ignore this stuff for now. But this is the algorithm as it was before adding the filters. Okay. Which is like, and also keeping in mind, like when we're using, now that we're using a material that's a little more suited to this treatment, has something to work with, sounds a little bit cooler. But now, let's put the filtering in. And it just sounds a little nicer. I hope it comes through in the stream. And I hope that that's loud enough. It just strange because you can see I'm peaking here. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I'm gonna add some compressor. Just to make everything a little bit louder without peaking all over the place. I don't know why I have this set to the default. I really dislike that view. This is the view that I like. Let's see. Auto release. Okay, so let's take a look again. So this is what the filter's in, right? Now, one thing, I'm hearing a bit of quantization as I sweep this. I'm not sure what that's coming from. I don't think that's inherent to the implementation. But what's really cool, I think, about this is, as you can hear, certain resample rates just sounds, you just get these different types of, okay, so that's what the filter's in. And then here's without. It just sounds a little, just a little plainer. Now that's for two reasons. One, there's the filtering, right? So what I did was I decided for the, one thing. Why do we put some reverb in front of that? Why do we put some supermassive in front of it. That's okay. You know, maybe I'll just stick to presets for now. You see, even though I have... Yeah, I need to look into this. You can see that this is stepping. I'm getting distracted, but this is going to be a question. I'm going to put this for later. I wonder if I have to... Sample rate. As you can see, I have this very small step set here. So maybe... No, it's still stepping by like 50 hertz. Which is not at all what I want. There must be some, you know, some detail that I'm missing. Whatever. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so let me gather myself. That was exciting. Let's... This is not incrementing at the rate I want. Why? I have a feeling, I don't know, actually I don't know what my feeling is. Shoot, I kind of want to try to fix that real quick, if at all possible. Input, output declarations, no, it would be event endpoints. Graphs, graph nodes, connections. You know, maybe if I just search for a step. Nope. Maybe if I init. And then I am just trying to figure out how to change. Let's go back to, I guess these are, no, it would be in annotations, because that's what these are. Let's see. Oh, well, that's not, somewhere around here there is a, you know, a whole list of all of the different graphs. I really think it would be endpoint declarations. Optional annotations, yes, but then events, hoisted. Oh, come on now. I'm I'm getting desperate. Let's see if I just look up, yeah, double square brackets and see where that gets me. I swear that I saw somewhere. Would it be in an example? Oh, maybe because it's not smooth. What does ramp frames do? That might actually be it. Ah, nice. Here's patch parameters. Well, I feel like this should just work. But you know what? Let's see what happens if we also add. Oh wait, not to saturation. That's not what I want to. But that'll be another question for the Discord. No, it's still interesting. I wonder why it's doing that. I don't think that's doing anything. Or, you know what? Let's see. Yeah, whatever. Either way, so that's, you know. This makes me want to strap an LFO to it, though. Now, what are some weird ideas that we could do? Have two LFOs, one for each channel. Might even be cool to have the different sample rate for each channel. It's kind of something I want to try. But to finally get around to what I actually did, right, is so I took a similar approach to the implementation here. Who it is, I should give due credit. No, not to SciPy. Oh, thanks, SciPy. To this person who made this picture, Morgan from Ottawa. Thank you, Morgan. Who basically input filters it with a digital clean filter, and then does output filtering with a analog modeled filter. So here's what's going on in terms of my implementation. So I'm using some C major library stuff. We have this input filter, which is and it's got this something from the library, and I have taken from this implementation the notion that we should set the frequency, generally the frequency of the input filter should be Nyquist, but a little lower than Nyquist for the downsample. Well, yeah, I had a lot of confusion about exactly how to do this. What they did, right, was they had this filter input, right? So this filter setup here assumes a normalized, and this is a normalized frequency, assuming that 1 is half of Nyquist for whatever sample rate the signal is that you pass into this. I thought, okay, well, I am going to find Nyquist of the rate at which Nyquist in terms of, how do I put it? First, I find the Nyquist frequency of the downsample rate. So if you select downsample rate of 10,000 hertz, the Nyquist frequency will be 5,000, right? And then since the downsampling is happening after oversampling, right, that's going to raise the Nyquist by the oversample rate. So I'm setting the frequency of the input filter to the Nyquist frequency of the downsampling rate times the oversampling rate, and then times 0.66 because of just cargo coding what this person did. Well, they did 0.666. And then I'm doing the output filtering at back down to the original Nyquist, not regarding the sample rate, the oversampling. Does that make sense to do, actually? I think I need to write this down and maybe talk to somebody who knows a little bit more than me to know for sure. But what I know is that, well, right, let's take example. What if we set the output filter, everything to, so we input filter, we output filter, because all the downsampling, up and down sampling is happening, at this oversampled rate. So I feel like it just doesn't have enough of an effect, but lowering the filtering. And similarly, I feel like it's too extreme if, well, is it? Maybe it's not. Actually, let's see. I think that maybe I was overthinking it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because you know what? Like, no, all that matters is the Nyquist of the sample rate you're going to. So the downsampling rate doesn't really matter at all. Well, the reason they talk about this oversampling, I think, is that they found that the input filter fit well at 96 hertz, and the output filter fit well at 48. I don't know if that's going to be relevant for us. But in terms of sample rates, I actually also oversample the I don't think I don't think the actually that the input filters need to be oversampled. Let's see. It's definitely favorable to oversample the output filters because they're doing nonlinear processing, and that's also part of what makes this iteration of the effect a little more special. For implementation reasons, I have these parameters exposed. I don't want to have them exposed, but so check this out. I guess it's more obvious if you do. But even for just a little bit. Let's see. So this is with and this is eventually it'd be nice to add this as a parameter, but it's not normalized yet. So it's not as usable as I'd like it to be, I think. But it sounds really cool. I know it's clipping. There we go. How hard is this compressed? Oh, it's not compressing that much. So speaking of which, so as you can see, it says Perkle. So these are C major implementations of the virtual analog filters that I think are implemented in designing audio effects plugins in C++ by Will Perkle. Ollie Larkin did them. Thanks, Ollie. And I basically just hacked it in. I just threw the file in here. And in terms of, getting it to work exactly the way I want it, we still have a ways to go. But I'm glad that I stuck with it a little bit and, decided to use like a some more varied, Okay. What if there's anything else that seems cool? Oh, winds. Yeah, another idea. This sounds like something. Put an LFO on sample rate. Put an envelope follower on sample. An envelope follower on sample rate. So it'd kind of go like. That'd be fun. As you can tell, you know, this is already a bit crushed because when you really compress it, you can hear the noise coming. I mean, I love that. That's why I got this these drum hits when he put them out. Oops, well, didn't mean to record the story of my life, accidentally recording automation. Put this here because I like the way because I don't think that they line up totally straight. And you know what, maybe in the future I should just start working from this. Cool. Sounds a little silly. Huh, very cool. Okay, well, next time, is that all that I wanted to cover? I think so. I have another. Next time I'm going to figure out, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next time. Maybe do a little bit of cleanup. Cleanup and refactoring. Yes. Next time. Cleanup, refactor. Oh, the thing I wanted to cover was I had to, or had the opportunity to, because the way that the Perkle filters are implemented, as you can see, I whipped out the merge and split functions that are processors that I created when I was doing the clipper in order to be able to do this in stereo. So cleanup and refactor. What's up with parameter increment? What else? How do we set processor defaults in Perkle filters? Because that's why I have these exposed, because I want to make sure that they get initialized to the right values, and I don't know of a way to do it besides this, because this is a graph and you can't do things like call an init function that would call, like, you know, like look at this, like every time the sample rate gets changed, I'm resetting the queue here, which actually I should probably expose the queue. That'll be part of the cleanup refactor. And once maybe we can take some time implementing the Perkle filters, because yeah, that's one drawback of them, or one limitation of them right now. Or might, I mean, I want to true stereo resample, I think could be really cool. Really weird, but I think really cool, because, you know, just imagine it almost sounds a little too, like, what if we just oh yeah, so this is like definitely like it's doing like a little, you know, it's doing a bit of emphasis at the corner frequency, which isn't something I'd like to bake, like, because originally I was imagining that I would just bake that into, like, you know, you wouldn't be able to change the Q of either the input or the output filter. So adjustable in filter Q. Cool. Yeah, sorry for that little diversion, but yeah, hope that this video, because I'm doing this live, but you know, it's mostly for video purposes and to have a document. Hope this finds you well. Have a great rest of your day or evening, or however you find this. Thanks a lot. Bye.